Eat your heart out, YouTube. This is Cannibal Red coming at you with our very first Sun and Moon quick battle. I just built this team and I'm really excited to use it, so let's talk about it a little bit. We've got a belly drumming Azumarill, which is really basic, same thing you would have run in Oras. In the next slot, we've got a Mega Pinsir. Mega Pinsir's really basic, but has had some changes in this generation. He no longer gets close combat, no longer gets double edge, or body slam. So all of those things have been taken away from him. You cannot use them unless you bring him from a previous generation. So instead we're running superpower and return. In our next slot is our special wall melodic, same kind of melodic set you usually see. I'm running Dragon Tail just to get stuff out of there. Toxic, Recover, and Scald, just for damage. So he's really just our special while he's in there to stall some things out. In the next slot is a new Pokemon, Lycanroc. Now, Lycanroc is Rock type. He's really strong, really fast, but has absolute horrible defensives. So we choice banded him. We're really just going for some really strong choice banded quick attacks. Not literally quick attack, I mean like Accelerock, which is a priority rock type move that was added in this generation. In our next slot is the disgusting and despicable Alolan Persian, who looks just the worst design I've ever seen. But he's Dark type, so we're bringing him with Taunt, Dark Pulse, Shadow Ball, and Nasty Plot. In the next slot is Palo Sand, not Palo Swine. And he is here as our physical wall. He has a really cool ability, which means if he gets hit by a water type move, he actually gets +2 to his defenses, I believe. So really cool. I'm really excited to use him, and here we go. So we lead with our Persian against the Decidueye. So this is a really good lead for us. We're actually going to super affect the Decidueye with a Dark Pulse. And he goes for, on this turn, the U-turn to get up out of here because he doesn't want to be up against this Persian, who obviously does tons of damage. Now, he switches in to his Alakazam on this turn. Now, I'm really afraid he's about to go Mega. He's going to do some massive damage, so I got to get up out of here with my Persian, and I bring in our special wall. So, Melodic hits the field, absolutely ready to block some damage. And we managed to take this Moonblast he sends out absolutely just fine, so no worries about that. But on this turn, I think he might be packing the Energy Ball, so I went for the Dragon Tail, thinking maybe we can live one, do some damage, and get him up out of here. Apparently, he does not pack Energy Ball, at least I'm assuming at this point, because he hard swaps out in the Mimikyu, who does not take any damage from the Dragon Tail. I really don't think that was a prediction on his end. I just think that it, wasn't a good play for us. So I switch out into our Lycanroc, thinking I gotta break this guy's disguise. He basically has a built-in Focus Sash, for those of you that don't know at this point. So he gets the Swords Dance up, we Accelerock, break the disguise, and on this next turn, I'm choice banded, so I have to Accelerock again. There's no option about it. This is just what we have to do. So we take this huge play rough, we live it, surprisingly, and get an Accelerock off to do a lot of damage to this Mimikyu. But we're definitely going to go down next turn, or this turn, I'm sorry. And we're going to have to bring in something that can pick up the KO. So I'm thinking Mega Pinsir with his Aerialate Quick Attack is absolutely what we want to do this. So in comes the Pinsir. We're going to go Mega, get those wings, and fire off a Quick Attack. To my surprise, Quick Attack does pretty much nothing. So it does 37%, not nearly enough, and Mimikyu hits us with a huge play rough after he gets his Sister Sperry. So this is just the worst. It means basically we have to quick attack again and let our Pinsir go down. So I underestimated Mimikyu's defense, obviously, or maybe I overestimated Pinsir's attack, but whatever happened there, I should have just returned first turn and taken him out. But at this point, I can bring in Azumarill and kind of clean it up with the Aqua Jet. So Mimikyu goes down, and Azumarill doesn't have to take any damage, which is really nice. Now, he actually brings in the Decidueye right here. He's Grass type. I cannot take a hit from this guy. I have to swap out. So I decide I'll just go into my Persian. Persian's not really doing much at this point, so we'll just sack him off. He goes for the Z move, and I'm thinking, it's over, man. We're going to take the Z move and go down. But look at this. Persian freaking lives this Z move, and we get to take out the Decidueye. So for what I thought was going to be death fodder, we just got a kill, which is absolutely awesome. Basically, it just means Decidueye's crap if he can't even take out this Persian. Now, he brings in Marowak, which I think is a dumb idea because we're faster. We get another Dark Pulse off and do huge amounts of damage to his Marowak before we go down. So, again, for what I thought was just going to be a turn of, hey, we'll send this in, let it die, get a free switch. Well, we got to do a ton of damage with it. So in comes Azumarill, going to do exactly what he did to the Mimikyu and Aqua Jet this Marowak into the grave. So adios, Madre. And he's going to go ahead and bring in Alakazam right here. Now, at this point, I don't think he has Energy Ball, so I just swap right back into our Melodic. And if he did have Energy Ball, we would take a huge amount of damage here, but he doesn't, so I predicted correctly. We take a Psychic. It does basically 30%, so it's not a huge amount. After leftovers, we're looking pretty good, and he realizes he's going to have to Calm Mind on us if he wants to get anything done. So I Toxic him. I'm like, look, I'm a Special Wall. I can take your hits for days, plus I've got Recovery. So we're just going to go ahead and apply the Toxic to him. So after that Calm Mind, he's doing so much more damage. We're talking basically 50% every single turn. So fortunately, a Recover plus leftovers is still going to bring us at a good point, so he still cannot do the damage he needs to do. We see that proven again on this turn as we live with 10 HP, recover it up, plus leftovers, and he's taking more toxic damage. Basically, Melodic's just out here being a douche. That's just what he does, man. We can stall this guy out. He realizes he can't take this. He can't take us out with what he's got, so he decides he has to get a second Calm Mind up as we recover up to full HP. So even after a second Calm Mind, he's going to be doing about 70%, which is enough for a 2-hit KO, but not a single shot barring a crit. So we actually lived that with 30%. We recovered on that turn, just stalling him out with the Toxic. I know it's not entertaining to watch, but it is a strategy, and it's the only way Melodic was going to be able to defeat this Alakazam. So it's really, really nice. Take a huge hit here. We're going to recover it off once more. End up at a pretty respectable amount of health, basically sitting at like 70% as he goes down to Toxic. So Melodic did really, really well right there, stalling out a Mega Alakazam. To my surprise. And in comes Wishy-Washy. Now, this is my first time up against a Wishy-Washy. I'm still really, really new to this meta. And so I just decided I'm going to Toxic him. He looks big and buff like he might have some defenses, but we miss our Toxic. He gets an Earthquake off, which shows me he doesn't have anything to hit our Melodic with. That damage was absolute nothing. It was 25%, so we can recover that off and not have a single problem with this Wishy-Washy. Again, showing us the 25%, and now he's Toxic, so we can stall this guy out without a problem. And the recover happens. We're going to be sitting at like 85%. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. We go first. So we recover. He Earthquakes. And at the end of this turn, we're going to be sitting with 60. We can recover next turn. And we have nothing to fear from Wishy-Washy. So it appears, I'm thinking at this point, he's a physical attacker. He's really got nothing. He decides to Aqua Ring, give himself a little bit more sustainability. But the Toxic is just racking up, and he cannot break through this wall. Now, he has the Drampa in the back, but it really just seems like he's committed to Wishy-Washy, so I think now is a perfect time to bring in Pylosand. We know we can take it. This is our defensive wall, and all I've seen from him is Earthquake. On this turn, I'm expecting him to go for the Waterfall, and I can get that special ability defense boost if he lives this Energy Ball. He lives the Energy Ball on 3%, and I'm expecting the Waterfall right here. And he Hydro Pumps instead. And because Hydro Pump is hitting on the special side and not the physical side, Pylosand has to go down. So that was really, really upsetting to me. We didn't have to switch into Pylosand. We could have just stayed into the Melodic and not even lost a Pokemon. But, you know, I got greedy. I wanted to see Pylosand do some work, and it just didn't really work out for me this time. So he's going to EQ. It does nothing now that he's back in his little baby form. And at the end of this turn, he goes down to Toxic, and we sit at 99% of our health. So his only Pokemon left is Drampa, and Drampa runs pretty good sets. He's got a lot of coverage, and this one is actually packing Thunderbolt. So we Toxic him. I'm thinking we still don't have offensive presence. All we can do is Scald, and he goes for the freaking Thunderbolt. So he has the super effective move. It does a ton of damage, 58%, which is a lot, but keep in mind, with our special defense, leftovers, and recover, it's still not going to be enough to take us out. It's a stall battle that we absolutely can win. So we really don't have anything to fear here unless he gets a critical hit or unless we get paralyzed. If either of those two things happen, it's game over, and Melodic's got to go down. At which point we'll have to bring in our Azumarill and finish things up with a Play Rough because we should outspeed. Now, Drampa's a really interesting guy. I'm surprised this one was running Thunderbolt. Usually they run like a Dragon Pulse, Hyper Beam, uh, and Flamethrower for Steel types. He was running the Water type coverage, so that, I mean, that's really cool for him. And then the last move is usually like Roost. He can heal himself, but healing himself with Roost is not going to help him with this Toxic racking up. So we're just going to let him go down to Toxic and win the match. Because of this horrible, evil Melodic, we were able to go ahead and get the win. So after this game, my opponent, Altris, actually said it was a great game. He really enjoyed it, but my Melodic was absolute cancer. And I'm inclined to agree with him. I hate seeing Melodic on the opposing team. It's just always a bad day. But on my side of the field, you know what? It worked out for me. He was able to stall out 3 of my opponent's Pokemon without having a problem. So thank you guys for watching. I should have more content coming to you. This last semester has been really busy, so I haven't been doing it, but let's get back into it. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, leave a like, leave some comments, and eat your heart out, YouTube. I'll catch you next time.